Hi guys, welcome back to Yaya's Craft House. Today I had an idea. I want to create these miniature little display boxes and have them hanging on my wall, and then I can use them for like quick photos of the dolls, also storage of the dolls. So today we're going to build one, and it's going to have a little window seat. I started with a full sheet of foam board and I cut a square that was 12 by 12. And then for the sides and the top and bottom, I cut 4 pieces that were 12 inches long and 6 inches wide. I used hot glue and I glued them together. Now my measurements must have been off a little bit because there's a little gap at the bottom and the top, but I'm okay with that. It's going to be covered anyway. Then I cut out another square out of the foam board that was 12 by 12. This one is going to be the back wall. I found the center point where I wanted my window to be, and then I measured over 3 inches on each side and then made a rectangle. And then I cut that out for the window. Using the square that I cut out for the window, I cut strips of the foam board. I took 2 and glued them horizontally in the window. And then I cut some smaller sections and glued them to complete it. I decided to use this black and white buffalo check as the background, so I cut out the window and then glued it on. This is me just making sure it still fits after the paper is attached. And it was about at this point I realized I wanted it to be a window nook, and I had not cut the board for that. So I turned the board over and measured 2 inches on each side, and then I cut through the board without going all the way through so that it could bend. And then I cut additional pieces of the foam board to fit into the room on the sides. And then I went back and covered them with the paper as well. Then I took some additional foam board and measured out for the actual bench. And then I glued them together. Next, I painted the little bench with some brown acrylic paint. Then I took some wooden coffee stirrers and glued them on the front of the bench just to give it a little more design. And then I went back over everything with another coat of the brown paint. I envision every one of these little display boxes that I'm going to build to have some kind of electrical component in it. And this one I wanted to put lights behind the window. I used a dark gray scrapbook paper and glued it on the back wall. And then I cut a little hole in the side for the lights to come through. I just used some tape to attach the lights to the back of the window. I used this wood grain scrapbook paper and covered the floor. And then I used a light gray and covered the two side walls. I cut out a few more strips of the foam board and trimmed out the window. For the cushion to go on the bench, I cut 2 strips of this white material that were the same size as the bench top, and then I cut a long thinner strip of the white material, and that will be the edge. I took one of the rectangles and started sewing the long thin strip around the edges, and then I closed it up at the end, and then I pinned on the other one to the other side of the thin layer and started sewing it on. I used some stuffing to put in the cushion, and then I closed up the end. I love that this box is pretty neutral. You could play it up for fall like I did here, or you could decorate it for Christmas, or just leave it plain. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up below and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you back here soon.